Gotham actually might be the best show on TV. Secretly. Well, maybe it is. Maybe we've all been wrong this whole time.
Can the show be so bad that it becomes perfect?
I mean, just to explore this, yes, possibly. Just to explore this seriously for a second, it should be said that I've read YouTube comments where people like adamantly defend that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the best superhero show on television ever. And they call the shows that we watch multiple times.
And I can say I watched all but the last 2 seasons of that show, and there are times when it's great, but there are one episode or moments.
But here's the thing, and my immediate response to that is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't a fucking superhero show.
No, it's the opposite. Although it's kind of turned into that.
Yeah, it's a show where superheroes sometimes show up.
Yeah, you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because you're maybe Sif will show up.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll do 12 episodes with Ghost Rider, and they'll be better than every other episode ever produced.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about anyone on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I don't like what's-her-face, Chloe Bennett.
Right. Yeah. Especially after her current boyfriend.
I heard her not together anymore, but that's
beside the point.
In comparison, Arrow, Flash, Legend, Supergirl, they're doing Crisis on Infinite Earths, guys.
Right.
They're going all in, and Gotham was watch me light both of my arms on fire and then clap my hands and jump on this pogo stick.
It's not just even I would say one of the interesting parts of the CW stuff. They get how political they get and relevant to today, and Gotham's just all right. Let's shake up the magic 8-ball of garbage Batman villains and throw them on the screen.
Gotham's look at this freak show I've assembled. That's incredibly self-destructive.
Everything I hear about Gotham, it just sounds like someone who poops in a bag and is asking you to smell it. It just...
Oh my god!
It's the person who leaves the flaming dog poop on the door, but they don't light it on fire.
They just leave it there.
And they wait around to watch you be really mad.
Oh my god! All I ever hear is, but the Penguin is so good.
That is the one defense I've heard about the show.
The Penguin's so good.
Guys, they did a fucking Balloon Man episode.
Oh my god, that's the first episode, isn't it?
It's in the first season. That's why this video I was watching before that actually got me to this topic. She mentioned she was no one I know watches Gotham, and you want to know why? Because in season 1, there's the Balloon Man episode, and not a single person I know can get past that episode.
Oh man! And I actually say he is not the worst villain in season 1.
Yeah, which means that okay, let's take that as kind of a control group or a study group right there, and then kind of apply it to the average person's social life. That means that you probably need to have a very specific, wacky fucking taste to watch Gotham. Yeah, because I think you have to just take out your you remove your common sense and your brain, and you just put it aside and just fucking hit it with a trank dart and go all right, here we go for 42 minutes.
Or you're my parents who
you remove most of your frontal lobe, is what you're saying.
Right?
Yeah, just sit there and drool at the TV and go.
Yeah.
You scoop your brain out like Fish Mooney scooped out her eyeball.
My parents,
fucking watch that.
One of them in particular, my stepfather.
Oh boy,
Arlen.
Gotham TV show is fantastic.
Gotham is the best show. Your mother makes me watch it, but I like it all the same.
I didn't seen this TV show for Batman after the 66 show.
Have you seen this kid Batman? He's doing all this stuff. Hey, I've got a whole bunch of mashed potatoes. We have to eat them by Tuesday.
Is your stepdad that one Hollywood producer? Because he has basically a voice.
Well, the version of him for this show, yes, definitely.
Yeah, just my uncle was killed by an AIDS ghost.
Yeah.
Is that a ghost that has AIDS, or is it the ghost of the disease?
Ask Hunter. I don't know.
Well, no, it's the ghost of the AIDS that inhabited Magic Johnson.
Right. It's also a ghost that can give you AIDS by coming into contact with you. It's a very 13 Ghost like situation. Yeah.
Oh, my last comment on Gotham was going to be, a show is bad when Donald Logue is your best actor on it.
That's unfair.
That's very unfair.
Donald Logue
Hey, I like him in some things, but he is far and away the best person on that show.
Wow, Lou, you're like, yeah, he's an actor.
Yeah, I'll say that. Donald Logue has a particular set of skills. Yes, and you call him
really good in Blade.
He was fantastic in the show called Terriers, which was on FX for like a season. Of course, Alan's the only one who's seen it. Of course, Alan is. Of course. But no, he's fantastic in that show with this other guy who was on True Blood for like a season as
and
like
one episode of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, of course.
Are you?
Of course, you know that. Of course, you know that.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's been in a ton of stuff. Like he was in ER. I'm looking at his IMDb. He's been in a bunch of shows.
My point is that Terriers is one of those shows that like hardcore TV fans, like they talk about that show being one of the great canceled shows in the history of FX. Like it's a show that gets brought up a lot in terms of like 10 years later of like they should bring this show back. Like let's give it a revival or whatever. So yeah, like Donald Logue, he's done some good work, some very good work in the past. So yeah.
Donald Logue, my favorite actor in Blade. That movie that I want to be in, that I'm not president anymore.
Yes,
I want to be an actor.
There's always a motherfucker who wants to skate uphill. Did I get that right?
Have you
always
lost your damn mind?
Y'all do not know who you are fucking with. Yeah.
I want to put a reverse on Schwarzenegger and be an actor after I've done political work.
See, I like the idea of Obama taking the trajectory that Wesley Snipes did as each Blade film came out. So by the third iteration, he's just getting high and hanging out in his trailer the whole time.
He's letting the stuntman do all the work.
Exactly.
David Lawyer. Yeah.
Oh my god. I would love to hear him. I know Blade is what we do with like Demolition Man.
Yeah,
or White Man Can't Jump would actually be better.
Yeah, Barack Obama actually just wants to be Wesley Snipes. Blade
He ends up in Expendables 3 with Mel Gibson.
Oh my god!
Forget that series exists.
Exactly.
Oh my god!
Hey, Michelle, I just got the new script for Passenger 57.
Oh wow, that's a deep cut.
Oh, Michelle, I gotta take a vacation. Why? Well, I gotta do that part where I didn't pay my taxes.
That's right. Michelle, I know it was hard a couple months ago when I did a Tu Wong Fu Julie Newmar, but yeah.
Oh wow, I was gonna go money train and be like, I have to go do that part with that guy who got away with murder.
Wow, we are really on a fucking roll of nonsense tonight.
Right, and we're three mostly white men doing our Obama impression.
Look, his voice is very distinct. Okay, he's
I know.
Which is unlike.
I'm the only. I've never even tried to do it because.
Yeah, everyone has a Trump impression, but like 7 of them are good on the whole planet.
True.
I think everyone can do a Barack Obama impression.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a funny voice.
He has dad voice all the time.
It's not even his voice. Yeah, it's exactly. It's the delivery. It's not the voice itself.
You got to talk really quick and then slow down.
Yes. Lou, you nailed it already.
Yeah, that was fantastic. It's like that dude Zach from he's part of the Game Grumps and everything. He has that show Sleepy Cast. Like he has the best Trump impression I've ever heard.
Yeah, I watched that video you posted in the group chat a while ago.
It's so fucking good. Where he's talking about how the spider crawled in the nuclear codes. Pesky thing, get out of here.
I saw Crooked Hillary. She went and took a dump.
She went and took a dump in the bathroom.
See, I feel like to do Trump, you have to like suck your face in. You got to be like, oh no, it's awesome, the greatest thing ever, and you got to move your hands. It's a whole body impression.
He says, like, the thing I think he said was that you have to get tired of the sentence you just started and then just kind of take a breath and then just kind of roll into a new one.
Yeah. And you also have to say the same thing 3 times. And
Hillary. Hillary. Pause for applause. Hillary. Yeah.
Lock her up.
Yeah. That's I saw a goblin the other day, okay?
I watched a documentary called Hillary.
I was watching this documentary on Netflix. They were just all these Mexicans killing people. It was called Narcos.
We have to stop.
That was one of the crazier things I thought I'd read was that all of the things that Trump was claiming about what happens with Mexican immigrants was actually from Sicario.
Yes,
there's the second one too.
And when he spoke to Vietnam veterans, I guess, he kept mentioning things he saw in, I think it was The Bridge Too Far, or
I see him more as a platoon guy or
platoon.
No,
I think he kept specifically mentioning the napalm, and they're like, "Yeah, can you not?"
Oh no!
And they're like, they were like, "Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way, but okay." He just wanted to talk about platoon the whole time.
I heard Charlie doesn't surf.
I like that part in Hot Shots.
Colonel Kurtz was a
Martin Sheen on the river. And
when you killed
film, he's a great man.
Anyway, so now that we've gotten all that fucking silliness out of the way, hi, this is an After Dark episode of Phantom Zone. If anyone who listens to this hasn't already figured that out,
yeah, it's a new one too. Surprise.
There's news.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, there is.
So one movie keeps consistently kind of growing larger and absorbing every actor who's ever been a thing. And some people in a well-liked comic book movie company had to step outside and put their fucking pride in their mouth and swallow it. Anyway, I'm Connor McGraw. Who else is here?
Arlen Haro.
Alan Muir.
Erik Fedorchak, and I'm here to tell you about beard herds or neck herds.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is one of those things that I missed.
Yes. Oh, before we get to I'm Lou Gonzalez, and I am definitely not a neckbeard or part of the neckbeard herd or the beard herd.
Neck herd, I think, is what we decided on. Yeah.
Herd necks.
Yeah, the herd necks, yes.
The herd necks. And then I said that a herd of neckbeards probably smells like Doritos and sweat, and then Mountain Dew would take that odor and put it into a flavor.
Now, if you're very quiet and you don't scare them by talking about women or minorities taking over roles they love, you can watch them eat Dorito dust out of each other's plumage.
Oh, my first thought when you said Mountain Dew was what the name would be, and my thought was Toxic Blue.
Probably, yeah.
Yes.
And they would sell it exclusively. They would advertise it exclusively in Game Informer and on Xbox ads. Like that's it. That's the only place they would put it.
And they would have a Slurpee at 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
of course. They would probably call it Red Pill.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Celsior.
Oh.
It comes with a free download code for Call of Duty.
Oh shit. Man, real quick, I think Mountain Dew is like every gamer is a fat piece of shit, right? Yeah, they'll just fucking stuff it in their mouth, right? Like just put a dead mouse in their bag. Who cares?
Well, there's a thing called what is it, like Dew Mouth? It's like yes, you've never heard of this?
No. What?
Oh, it's basically when
my God, that's fucking horrifying.
Like, I don't know what you would call it in it's not the quite South, it's that weird mid-South, like the Tennessee, Kentucky. And where they do lots of meth, like meth country. But they do meth and all they do is drink Mountain Dew by the gallon and it rots their teeth out and they call it Dew Mouth. Because that's the only soda they drink.
Of all the drinks for a large group of people to drink, I didn't think it would be meth heads.
Dear anonymous porn studio, I have a plan for you.
Oh no. Do the do. Okay, let's move on to the actual topic because
Dew Mouth Part 2 code
it's
red.
in the Appalachian Mountains. I will send an article.
Okay.
You want me to start with the WWE releases?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, get that out of the way.
Yeah, let's get these out of the way. They're quick anyway. I got to pull up the exact people, but I think off the top of my head. So Arlen actually shared with me a tweet earlier this week from Stephen Amell from Arrow, because he's dabbled in the pro wrestling world, that Ty Dillinger, who, for those who do not know, Ty Dillinger's been with that company for like 12 fucking years, and was stuck in their development program most of the time because they refused to look at him.
Right.
And then when he finally got TV going for him, people loved him. He got over immediately. He kind of had great reaction to the crowd. People liked his merchandise.
He's the perfect 10.
He's the perfect 10, Tyler Dillinger. And then WWE proceeded to seemingly pluck him from the timeline. And no one had seen him on TV for about 4 or 5 months. And then he asked for his release, and he was granted it. The next one is... let me actually ask a question first. So let's say you have a guy, and part of his story in the industry is that he struggled to, make a name for himself, and in doing so, actually made himself homeless for a number of years, and really fucking struggled. And then
I think I know what you're talking about.
And finally makes it to the fucking big time. He wins an inaugural championship. What do you think the ideal ending to the story is?
Tattoos.
He dies in an anonymous hotel room.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was too dark.
He decides to take steroids anyway, and then does a jump off the corner of the ring, and then cut to black.
Toxic shock syndrome?
No, the perfect ending is like, yeah, we don't know what to do with you, so please go. It's the biggest anticlimax you can talk about. I'm talking about TJ Perkins, also known as TJP. He has the coolest fucking entrance music ever. It's chiptune music produced by some old fucking music producer. It's fascinating.
That sounds great.
He won the inaugural Cruiserweight Championship a few years ago, wrestled a bunch of big names, and then once again wasn't on TV for a long time because this company doesn't know what to do with anybody who's under 5 feet tall or under 6 feet tall. Sorry. Right. There's a third. Alan, do you know off the top of your head? I can't remember who it is. Oh, Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Who's been with the company for like fucking 40 years is just gone.
Well, he was at WCW for like a good chunk.
Yeah, he's been a name in the industry for a long time.
Was he a member of the Four Horsemen?
Yeah, he was original member.
Yeah. Arn Anderson's been in the business for a fucking long time. Now, Ty asked for his release because he knew he wasn't being used. TJ did not, and was just kind of...
He was straight up fired.
Yeah, just straight up fired for... I mean, I can't really see a reason for it.
Also...
and this is an era where WWE doesn't fire people, ever, because they're too afraid of people leaving to go to other companies and build names themselves. And for some reason, that loses WWE metaphorical money that they never had in the first place. And this is kind of tied into the other wrestling story I told in the show a few weeks ago, where like everyone's fucking mad, like in some way with working with this company. Like people are asking to leave, people are being let go for no reason, and this company just continues to look really poor in the public eye, and it's kind of funny to me now. Mostly because I'm fucking tired of this company. I want things to change, and I know a lot of wrestling fans that they're kind of feeling the same. Also, I don't know how like one media empire is allowed to function at the whims of the same man for so fucking long, and no one around him ever says anything to like, hey, maybe you ought to let some other people take over, or try running with the ball. Because not even the people he supposedly lined up are allowed to take control. Like, Triple H has no fucking say in things.
Well, isn't that why for like a long time that Shane left?
Yes.
Like
he
straight up,
he
wanted his own thing.
The company was going, and he was flat out denied. And I guess the story is that Steph thinks more like Vince, and so Vince took a liking to her more, which is really shitty. That means a father looked at his kids and said, "You're more like me, so you're my favorite child."
If I can remember correctly, Shane left and went to like Japan and started managing and trying to create his own MMA company.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But you know who they can trust for like the fifth time? Bruce Pritchard.
I'm not going to talk about that fucking yes man who runs a podcast where he just basically apologizes for all the shit that WWE's done for the past 30 years. Now, I know that everyone likes to do their innuendo and rumor. I'm tired. Fucking fat ass. Anyway, so yeah, there's been more WWE releases, and that's probably going to continue the way things are going. So that's it for that story. I just want to get that out there.
Yeah.
And real quick, actually, I just saw this. Roman Reigns is going to show up this week on Monday, and apparently his cancer update is positive. So, yeah. Not that, Jesus.
Oh, well,
not in an AIDS ghost way.
Yeah.
God damn it.
No, I think apparently he's doing very well, and as someone
good.
As someone who was like, get this motherfucker off my TV, I'm very happy for him, and I don't want the universe to do this to him.
Right.
And if you're a wrestling fan, and you said I hope Roman Reigns gets cancer, and then you laughed. Fuck you.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking you get cancer. How about that?
I don't get cancer. You get cancer.
Wrestling fans are still the worst. Anyway.
This is true.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. That was the well, that's not really the first story, but yeah, that was something we wanted to talk about. Into the next one, which is this is old by now, but I figured might as well. Legion cast somebody as Professor X.
Well, this is fine because we haven't had any on-air opinions on this yet. Okay, Stormy, I'll let you out.
I'm honestly I don't know anything about the guy's acting ability. I mean, I'm guessing he's decent from all the roles that he's had, but he looks the part of a younger Charles Xavier.
And it's did you guys also this is also announced as the final season?
Yeah, that's part of this. Yes,
yeah, which means that, why the hell not? Go balls out.
Exactly. Yeah. Bring Dazzler in. Who cares? Do whatever.
You don't need to. A cartoon show. We'll get to later.
But I think the really important thing to take out of this is that it could have been a fucking a balloon attached to a tuxedo in a cardboard wheelchair. The fact that the show was going to be like, oh yeah, no, here's Professor X. They're really Professor X. We've danced around using actual X-Men characters other than Legion for 3 years very carefully. And now here is the nuclear bomb of mutants.
Well, it's also there's a new parent company, so they're kind of like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
We're gonna do whatever you want, finish it out, and also kind of plot wise, it makes 100% sense. It is
perfect timing because if this is building towards what we think it's building towards, then who else would you bring in conceivably to start? If they didn't go this direction, I think after it was all over, you look back and go, where the fuck was his dad?
I mean, it's
what did they even do besides Professor X?
Yeah. I don't think there's a better way to resolve that story, the way that it left off with him sort of. Yeah, I mean, spoilers for those who are listening to the show and haven't seen Legion. He becomes the bad guy at the end, and I couldn't see a better way of sort of finishing out this story.
He possibly puts a baby inside of Audrey Plaza, who is in the body of his dead sister.
The fact that it's this actor,
tell me more.
It's a younger Professor X. We'll just assume as much.
Also,
which isn't true.
We stand a chance to see him not in a wheelchair because this timeline doesn't really insinuate that he.
No, it did.
It did?
In the end of season 1, when he's doing the chalkboard thing.
Yeah, that's right.
The memory is of a wheelchair, and then the drawing on the chalkboard is a wheelchair.
Yeah. Okay. And the wheelchair you see is very much, if I remember correctly,
it's the wheelchair from the
X-Men movies.
Yes, the original set.
Okay. Yep. It's just that he never goes out of his way to make the X-Men. Basically, at this point, he doesn't. He likely doesn't even have a school
that we know of.
We don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, there hasn't been any real establishment of where mutants are.
We don't even know what is really real in this world. Because if there's ever
watch him have the wackiest X-Men lineup, hiding behind his back.
Oh my favorite thing would be ever is if it's
David, you weren't prepared for Puck.
It's Alpha Flight.
Yeah, he's in Canada.
I know.
No, if they used that shitty team that they made up in that had the other Summers brother, was it Darwin?
Yeah.
Fucking.
Are you talking about Brubaker's run?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the one that established what's his face.
What's
Yeah,
it, Vulcan?
Vulcan, yes.
Yeah, Vulcan, Darwin, and there's a girl that never gets spoken of ever again.
Well, that's the thing. They kind of use those characters in X-Men First Class. Kind of. Like they used Darwin at least.
Yeah, and they used Havoc, not Vulcan. Because Vulcan is garbage.
Yeah. He was pretty good in the War King storyline, but
I think that's after I bailed, but
yeah, it's the big cosmic event. But anyways, yeah, I'm trying to think of some deep, like, weird X-Men to pull, like have Maggot or somebody like that.
Meet my team of Agent Strong Guy.
Hey, Guido's a good character. Guido's a good character. Don't
I love
dare
X
talk bad
Factor.
about him. Yeah. Don't you speak about things you don't know of.
Also, like,
It's one of the things.
a few years ago, I might look at a picture of Negasonic Teenage Warhead and go, "Oh yeah, she's obscure." But now, like, after her one appearance in Deadpool, I'm like, "Who is that? And where do I find out more?"
Well,
You're
except
not
that
going to find out anything
because that
about
character
her.
is nothing like the comic version at all.
Oh, that sucks because I was like, "That's a fucking cool ass OP mutant. I want to see more of."
I believe they had to make a trade to be able to change her.
Yeah.
Ego for her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah, because in the comic, she's like in like a couple of books for like the new X-Men, and she's basically like a '90s goth chick, and then I think she just straight up gets killed.
I was saying, her power in the movie is awesome. I'm like, that's a hidden tank that I wouldn't expect.
There is a song you could find that's called Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Oh shit, there is. Yeah.
Oh,
yes, by New Jersey-based metal band Monster Magnet.
Oh, I found possibly the trump card of obscure X-Men characters. Here we go. Xavier comes out in his wheelchair and he's like, "You weren't prepared for Beak."
Oh, I said Beak.
Yeah.
Beak is hilarious. He's just a dude with a chicken head.
Yeah,
or Siren.
Yeah, Siren was part of X Factor too.
She's Banshee's daughter.
Yeah,
and Stacy X.
Oh, Stacy
that sounds
X
like a stripper.
She was a prostitute. She was a prostitute. That was her storyline.
And Boom Boom.
Oh yeah, Boomer.
Boom Boom, I remember.
Yep.
Wait, was Stacy X the pheromone chick?
I think so. Yeah.
We were literally just talking about that character on the comic show. I don't know, Alan. How did we get? I think we were talking about like shitty X-Men characters.
There's a guy. God. All right, I'll look it up while you guys.
Oh,
chat.
you know what? We were talking about like the characters. Oh, they were talking about the characters that they after they said no more mutants that were like left all messed up, and Beak was one, and she was one, where she basically was like, "Yeah, I had powers where I can make men like horny, and so they basically just used me as a prostitute, so I'm just gonna do that now too."
Well, if I remember correctly, Blob also got hit by it, and he was just stuck in his room. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all his fat was part of his power, so he's just this like pile of skin.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about like some of the more like body horror centric X-Men or mutants who might have been affected by that. Like,
oh, there's a ton. There was like a guy who was like a flying whale or something.
What would happen to Beak? Like, would he just turn into a bird?
No, he turns into like a really weird looking dude. I can find a picture because he gets completely turned to normal and he's just like an ugly dude.
Oh, that sucks. You lose anything special about you, become a subpar looking guy.
Yeah, they did a really interesting comic. I can't remember the character's name, but it was like a reporter, and her entire story was told like she was like each issue was her reporting on people who got depowered, but like it didn't go well for them. And then it ends with her talking about like she gave birth to her daughter who was a mutant, and her daughter's mutant powers was that she would de-age.
Oh, no.
So her daughter becomes like unborn at the end, and it happens right before No More Mutants.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So the two of the people they cover are Beak and then Stacy X. And Stacy X is already just like a stripper. But I sent a picture of Beak human.
Oh no.
So he's just like a dude with a giant nose.
Oh.
I think Stacy X, like, she loses her powers, but she's still like a cat girl. So she basically becomes like a weird stripper character.
Oh god, he looks like a raisin with an eye. Fuck.
Any of the high pitched noises you heard in the background are Ripley
It's
yelling
like
at
Mark
cat.
Hamill and fucking Guyver. You cannot lose.
I'm turning
Just,
into a cockroach for some reason. Why did this happen? All the other xenomorphs, not xenomorphs.
I don't know why I'm on the cover of this movie either, but okay.
It's in the
That's
cover of that
fine.
movie. And like, it's his head is in the Guyver mask. I'm like, you sons of bitches.
I was gonna say I just watched another movie that I completely forgot Mark Hamill was in, which is the first not what was I gonna say? Not Watchmen. What's the British spy thing? Kingsman.
Oh, Kingsman.
Yeah, I was like, I completely forgot. He's in like the beginning of this movie and gets his head blown up.
Yep.
He is.
Yep.
It's pretty great. Yeah.
But Xavier being in the show is gonna I don't know what I was expecting for season 3. What the fuck is that?
That would
that
be an X-Men named Extreme.
Oh god.
God. Edgelord.
I had that toy. I had his toy.
That is so.
Oh, you know who'd be another?
It looks like he just quit halfway through a Shredder cosplay. Like
Well,
He is snowboard away, even in the middle of summer.
Well, he's a Liefeld character, like personified to the nth degree. He has a backwards baseball cap and just razor blades all over.
He was rumored to be the third Summers brother, but they decided not to do that. He ended up just being a member of the.
See why they chose.
He was X-Force, I think.
No, he was in the X-Men comics, and he was offered
what
membership.
The fuck? What is he? He looks like Strife's casual wear.
Yeah, he was a child of a Shi'ar despot, apparently.
Of course.
I was gonna say the other character like that would be oh man, what's the dude with the Deadshot? Not Deadshot.
Deathlock?
No, the X-Men who's like lucky. It's like a luck thing.
Oh, Longshot.
Longshot, yeah, Longshot. Oh my god, he is garbage too. Like total '90s trash.
Wait, I've never.
He's got.
I didn't know there was a Marvel Deadshot.
No, he's like a mutant, but he's part of like the Mojo stuff, and he's a total douche.
Yes.
Like he's.
Yeah, but he and Dazzler hooked up, and he might be Shatterstar's dad.
Okay.
I'm going to send an image that's going to blow your mind.
I just want to pull this back to Harry Lloyd just for a little sec.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because he's a very good actor, and I've actually seen him in a lot of things. And he's fantastic in everything I've seen him in.
He was in Game of Thrones, is the only thing I've seen him in.
Yes.
And he has one of the most memorable performances of season 1 because he starts out as fucking terrifying, and then you slowly watch him get emasculated until Jason Momoa murders the shit out of him.
Yeah.
He was Daenerys' brother, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Golden
He had
Crown.
one of the best deaths.
A crown for a king.
Yep.
Yes, definitely.
Which
And
they
then-
definitely like toned down that character for the TV show too.
Yeah, also his death has one detail about it that makes it probably one of the best like cinema deaths I've ever seen. And it's when he fucking hits the ground and the pong from the goal.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's effective.
Yes, that's really good. And he's very good in a show called Counterpart, which we've talked about here before. It's really good. Everybody should go watch it because it's getting canceled.
That's the fucking.
It's a spy show with J.K. Simmons. Where
There we go. Yes,
Yes.
I want to say J. Jonah Jameson, but I know
Right.
it's not who he is.
you get to, it's a show about alternate universes and stuff and timelines and all that. And because of that, you get the two versions of J.K. Simmons. You get soft teddy bear J.K.
Oh, that show. Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
You get J.
And you
Jonah
get-
Jameson yelling at the teacher from what's it called? That drum movie.
Yeah, you get Whiplash J. Jonah Jameson. He looks like a dragon, and it's like, I will fucking murder you with my fucking finger. Like, and if he says something like that, you believe him. And you get both of those. You get sort of both of his two modes, and he does a fantastic job.
I wish there was a chance. I wish there was space for a third alternate reality where he's Cave Johnson.
Oh, I was gonna say like to connect things back. Do you remember when he was Gordon?
Oh, dear God, barely.
Remember how that won't happen again? But anyways, Harry Lloyd's really good in the show. With him, he's one of the main supporting characters in that show. He's great. And as Alan brought up, and apparently Connor has completely forgotten, He's in a very good two-parter of Doctor Who.
I had no fucking idea.
From David Tennant's second season. With
Also, Alan, the way to
series.
remind me of such thing
is not a long quote.
Not to post what looks like a 4-minute monologue.
That's what it was
verbatim on my Instagram feed.
Alan's a little bit proud of himself.
Leaving me fucking so bewildered. I was like, is he having a stroke? What is happening? Like, is it a letter of some kind? What is this?
Is this
I'm like my phone going like, interpret this?
Yeah.
Okay. The thing, what I was trying to do was, what I was trying to say was, Patrick Stewart's, like, his general tone, like the tone of his voice in the X-Men films. Harry Lloyd has a similar.
He does. That's true. And he has that same acting background. He is a very good pick. Like, if they had casted him in the films that are upcoming, I would have had to clap because it's excellent.
Well, maybe they will. It might be a backdoor casting.
It would be insane if they used the Legion verse
and them punching a hole in reality and everyone just falling into the MCU.
Yes.
That'd be like the X, like the I would say like the ultimate casual X-Men's fucking monkey's paw is like, I want the X-Men in the MCU. It's the Legion verse. Weird.
There are random floating hands in the sky.
Yeah.
America and Tony do dance offs. They fucking.
There are robot.
Will never tell you why.
There's a giant nightmare chicken. We don't know why, but there's one.
This guy is this guy's a computer.
Yeah, exactly. A dude's soul gets trapped in a machine, and we never talk about it again.
This man's brain was removed so that psychics couldn't read his thoughts.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, is that what that is supposed to be?
Yes, that's the idea. He was recruited because he can retain information very quickly and exactly like down to the like photographic memory. So they hook him up to a computer so he remembers everything that he observes. And he can't be, and psychics can't read what's going on in his head and, tell them what Division 3 is up to.
Huh. It would have been nice if they would have actually explained that a little bit better in the show.
I guess that's
what they did, but it's all visual.
I guess that's what the mustache spots is
supposed to be. Called show don't tell. It's a artistic technique that a lot of great artists use.
Yes, and I recently was exposed to the opposite of that because the opening of Dragon Ball Evolution is like, some stuff happened. We won't show you it, but here's the movie. Blah.
Yes.
Here's Justin Chatwin. Doesn't he look like a Goku to you?
Oh, God, fucking damn it. That smile. That goddamn smile.
That fucking meme.
Okay, anyway, I think we're good on this. I think it's safe to say that we're all excited for
Legion.
Yeah.
Legion.
I'm excited for my favorite TV show to come back, all right? Like,
I'm excited. I'm excited for anything Noah Hawley does, but yes, definitely.
I hope they do more songs.
I'm also real quick. I'm also glad that this show has a very clear beginning, middle, and end, and then it gets to end on its own terms, and that it doesn't stick around long enough to get lost in its own shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, and I hope we get more of this stuff. Like, to its credit, Gotham is only sticking around for 5 seasons. And it's like, I'm going to say it now. Like, I think after some time, people are going to rediscover it and go, this is fucking bonkers, and I love it.
Yeah.
Gotham is only sticking around for 100 episodes because that's what you need for syndication.
What if it had peaks rediscover, people going back and watching it, and 20 years from now, there's a reboot on Showtime that's
oh god,
fucking next level of bonkers insane. Fucking...
They're like, this story is going to follow Bruce Wayne, but he's an infant. Everything else stays the same. Alfred, fucking Oswald, Enigma still fuck.
Oh my!
It's just reaction shots of a baby. Just
I don't know why, but you're just saying it follows Bruce as an infant. Just made me lose it.
It's still what's his face Pertwee,
Sean Pertwee.
Still him just going like, "Damn it, Master Bruce!" Like,
I can think of is like if they just do like a CGI shot in the womb and he's like
carpet. I know your parents are dead, but I hate myself.
He's drawing a bat symbol on the inside of the belly.
Yeah.
But it'd be reversed because they're shining it onto the belly, so it would happen.
Yeah.
I'm also just envisioning like a Muppet Babies-esque scenario for this reboot of Gotham, where like it's a super young like version of Alfred.
Everyone's children, and the tone stays exactly the same.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I was gonna say they've done comic books like that.
There's like 6-year-olds, there's 6-year-olds plucking their eyes out. They're freezing to the death.
They've done Little Gotham.
Hold on. That way, when you get to the Balloon Man episode, logically it makes sense.
Exactly.
Because they want balloons.
Yes.
Yeah,
well, no, a balloon, because a balloon could theoretically lift a small child into the air, and he would get lost in the atmosphere.
The
Not
thing
a
is,
grown man.
to play baby Donald Logue, do we hire at this point?
He's
happening. 70-year-old Donald Logue to play young Donald Logue?
Yes, because Donald Logue.
I feel like you just hire everybody and you do like that terrible movie Little Man.
Yes.
With the Marlon Wayans movie, and you just
no.
just superimpose their heads on babies.
Oh God.
Donald Logue.
I think it'd be great though if you had said white chicks.
But
it's just makeup pretending to be.
The pseudo Joker twins are both played by John Malkovich.
Yes. Okay. I think we can move on.
God, I could talk for 3 hours about Gotham. I think at this point, like,
let's not.
The thing is, anything we say is like so, like that show's so bad that they could possibly do it.
True,
and it's believable.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What did you say before we start recording? Can a show be so bad that it's perfect?
It's perfect. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Oh God!
That makes me so happy now.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about the only story that I didn't have to delete from at all for the last 3 weeks. Because
here you mean the amorphous mass that keeps absorbing Neo Tokyo? That is
yes.
That is the film Dune.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
the movie. Yeah, it's the movie that is going to consist of every actor that ever existed in all of time.
It's going to be 70 hours long.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
Well, if ever a movie could be 70 hours long, Dune is it.
Right, and if there's any movie that deserves it, I would think it's this, because Dune's a big story. And if you fill that cast, even like super side characters with like Emma Stone level talent, like yeah, it'd be a crazy fucking movie.
It's insane to me how like it was. Oh yeah, Oscar Isaac. Oh yeah, and God damn it, who plays Thanos? What's his name? Josh Brolin. And just in case you guys were curious, yeah, we got Jason Momoa too. Like,
and also Javier Bardem.
Yes, I forgot about that one too.
And Stellan Skarsgård. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you can't do anything without Skarsgård.
Like,
right. The skateboard lives.
Oh, oops, we're Aquaman now. Oh, look at us!
Like when they first said that Batista was going to be playing the Beast Raban, I'm like, all right, that's a good choice. I like him as an actor.
I was more clapping for Batista. Good job.
Yeah, and Villeneuve has shown that he can get Batista to do a good job, and him and James Gunn have figured out like what Batista is good at, like what his.
I think is as much as I liked Batista at some points during his wrestling run because I think he had something about him that was very magnetic. After seeing him in film, I honestly think he made the wrong decision when he was younger and probably should have got his foot into acting really fucking early.
If you want to listen, he has an amazing interview on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast. It's like an hour. And they go deep into his backstory. Like, he's a really interesting guy. He's just a very quiet, subdued human. Like,
Wait, did they Did they talk about his Smallville episode at all?
Yes, they did.
What?
Oh, God, I need to go listen to it. It's so great.
Because his show's only been going on for like a year, so it's like one of the early ones. Yeah, because I think it was like before the stuff with Gunn happened.
Yeah, it's I think it is. And for those who haven't seen his episode, he plays an alien that rips people's spines out. And you see it on screen.
I've seen that before.
Now,
It's fucking great.
does the alien have a belly button piercing and a weird sun tattoo around said belly button?
I don't think so.
But like Lou, back to what you said about him being a very quiet, subdued guy. Like that's kind of what makes his acting so far interesting because Drax the Destroyer is not subdued.
No, but the best moments he has,
belly laugh. Yeah, no. I think the best parts of both Guardians movies are when he's actually like being sullen.
I was going to say,
outbursts.
Right. His moment with Mantis when they're on Ego is like one of the best parts of that.
You are ugly, but I still like you.
Yeah, no. When she they're having the conversation, it ends with her putting her hand on him, and then she's just weeping.
Just cries because he's fucking done feeling that way about it because he just can't, and she's feeling all the fucking emotions. That or in Guardians 1, like after Ronan kicks his ass and he just breaks down, just fucking sobs. Fucking love that dude. And then like don't yell at me. Still haven't seen Blade Runner yet.
I
haven't access to my film library or anything like that.
Here's the thing. I'll get to it. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I did watch that clip of him. It was like a short film they released or something like that.
Yeah, it's his like origin kind of.
Yeah, that's fucking interesting. And he was shockingly one of my favorite standouts in the Riddick movie, the third Riddick movie.
Mm-hmm.
I still have not seen the third one.
Yeah, I never saw the third one.
Movie fucking
I love
rocks.
I like the Pitch Black is awesome. I like the second one.
Okay, it is a callback to Pitch Black because basically they were like, Pitch Black is great. We want to try something bigger with Chronicles. Didn't quite work out, so they take a few steps back and don't do it like they have a story reason for why Riddick is now back on a planet, like he gets marooned. And it's a giant rated R callback to Pitch Black, and like it's a similar situation except this time he's way scarier. There's more monsters, and Dave Bautista has fucking dreadlocks. It's weird.
No.
And somebody gets cut in half lengthwise with a giant tooth.
And
That's
go ahead.
Isn't our favorite Flash villain Blacksmith in that movie as well, or is it someone who just looks like Katie Sackhoff?
Wait, who the hell is Blacksmith?
Okay.
Also,
and she rules in that movie.
Also, Ra's.
And Arrow's Ra's al Ghul is in that movie. He plays.
Really?
Remember the dude in Pitch Black that Riddick betrays? Well, like the fucking bounty hunter. Cole.
Like the captain, right?
Yeah, Cole. I think his name was.
Yeah.
Riddick, that dude from Arrow, the guy who plays Ra's al Ghul, I can't remember his name. He is that guy's father, and he's been tracking Riddick for years because he's pissed.
Yeah, because there's only 3 people that survived the first movie. It's him, the kid, and Keith David.
Yeah, so now, and after Chronicles, both of those characters are dead. Yeah, but this guy tracks Riddick's planet, but then as soon as the situation goes foobar, he's like, I don't have a choice but to actually work with you because you're the only one who can deal with these things. Then through the course of the movie, actually, he kind of comes to terms with the fact that his son was a piece of shit and earns like a begrudging respect for Riddick. It's pretty fucking good.
It really is.
I just remembered, isn't Judi Dench in Chronicles of Riddick?
Yes,
she
is.
And
Jesus Christ.
Carl Urban, right?
Chronicles
Dame
of Riddick.
Judi Dench.
Chronicles
you say it correctly. God damn you!
Yeah, that movie is shockingly ambitious, and if you watch the director's cut, there's a lot of stuff going on in that movie, and like a lot of like lore stuff. They were trying to build something really big.
And the games also connected heavily both movies.
Yes. Oh, the games are fantastic.
The games are so good.
Yeah, but like the Chronicles, the theatrical cut out like entire characters and arcs that people have that aren't present that aren't just they're gone. Like there's whole plot threads that go nowhere because of
aren't present.
I completely forgot. So like one of the stars of Westworld was in this too, Donnie Newton.
Yes,
Sydney Newton.
yeah, she's Vako's wife.
Yes.
She's fantastic. That movie's really good. I think I stand by that.
Yeah, Vin Diesel kills a man with a soup cup.
He does.
He's challenged by someone. He says, like, what are you gonna do? Kill me with your cup? He's like, what are you gonna do? Kill me with your bowl? He's like, it's a soup cup. And he's like, what? I'm gonna kill you with a soup cup.
And then these two guys are like, they're gonna rush him, and then he looks at like a fucking clothespin or something.
Yeah.
Them.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he takes a soup cup, he smashes it against a rock, which then turns into just jagged metal, and then slams it into some guy's chest, and then just picks up like a very tiny object, and the two guys run.
Yes.
But getting back to the Dune news, if somebody could remind me, I know that Bardem is playing Stilgar. Bardem, sorry, thank you.
Because he's Spanish.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I'm just a white oppressor. But who is Momoa playing? I can't remember. Like,
he's playing one of he's someone for fucking.
Gurney Halleck, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
He's
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he's got a really interesting arc in the first 3 or 4 Dune books. So I'll be curious to see if this does successfully. If they'll do the things they do with that, because some things happen with Gurney that are a little bit crazy.
I'm seeing Josh Brolin is playing Gurney.
Oh, he is? Then who is Jason Momoa playing?
Momoa, Bardem, and
I don't think they've said.
No, they've announced two each.
Javier Bardem is playing Stilgar.
Stilgar.
I've never read the book, so.
Well, he was in the movie.
They've announced a lot of people for the Atreides family, but they really haven't named a lot of the other characters outside of Harkonnen. Like, it's a lot of people who I assume are part of the Atreides family.
We think there's 2 big names in our cast, which is
Duncan Idaho.
Chalamet.
Duncan Idaho. Yep, I just saw that. Yeah, go ahead.
So there's 2 big names. Chalamet and Zendaya were also cast.
Yeah, well, Zendaya. Well, that's the thing, though. Like, Zendaya and
Chalamet, they're like the main characters, right?
Yeah, well, we knew about Chalamet from a while ago. But it's just this rapid fire recently of just all of these like kind of big actors, at least when it comes to like recent
I would say
stuff.
They are big actors who have been in high profile releases for the past like 5 years.
Very high profile genre stuff as well.
And like a lot of Oscar at least nods around for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, except for Jason Momoa. I don't think he got an Oscar nod.
No. Charlotte Rampling is in this 2020.
Yeah, she's playing Mohem.
Yeah, Mother Mohem.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, she's the evil like orange Catholic like Bene Gesserit mother.
Oh, she's with the torture box and all that.
The Gom Jabbar. Yeah.
I have a question about Dune, like the story. Because it's been ages since I've seen the movie and I never read the books. Are these humans, as in like Earthlings? Like, did we find this planet, or what the fuck?
That part I'm a little bit fuzzy on, but I'm pretty sure yes.
Kind of like future-ish Lord of the Rings kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's
like
far
okay, you mean like how Middle Earth is basically like where we reside, but like so far back we couldn't even conceive it.
Yeah, this is the other way. It's like so far future.
Yeah. Just judging based off the movie, it's very far future, and we've recreated and this is probably just a David Lynch thing. This is probably just his design that he chose to use, but we've kind of like revisited Victorian era colonialism in terms of like outfits and like how people look like. Yeah, like their uniforms are very like Victorian, like
kind of.
Which I feel like of everybody in this film, like Javier Bardem is like the perfect guy to do. Him and Skarsgård are just like being super proper, are just amazing.
Right. Well, Harkonnen's the guy who floats around and fucking like.
And
okay, what you're saying is kind of like how it's not these two things you might not relate, but kind of like how in Dishonored, it's very clearly some kind of future timeline, but all the stylistic aesthetics are designed after like a colonial setting.
Dishonored,
Victorian?
but it isn't though, because they're using whales for all of that stuff, and that's
but
obviously.
They have like surveillance technology and like
yeah, but if you look at it, it's steampunk
parallel.
more than anything.
Yeah, or like how I would say I was gonna say Fallout, because like Fallout, like it's 200 years past the fucking 1950s, but they for some reason felt that cultural style and aesthetic was just gonna stick around.
I would actually say it's very Star Warsy, like the Empire part of Star Wars.
Yeah, it definitely. It has more of a feel like that, but then it also has the crazy like jihadist tribe that Paul Atreides basically becomes the leader of. Because I mean that's essentially what this story is about a disavowed royal who becomes a terrorist. Like that's kind of
fantasy Lawrence of Arabia. That's the it's science fantasy. I'd say science fiction. I'd say it leans.
Oh, totally. It's totally science fiction. The books are totally science fiction. Yeah,
very much like sci-fi Lawrence of Arabia. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember who is playing. So is Khal Drogo playing Sting's character?
He's playing Idaho. They haven't really announced anybody. Again, they haven't really announced anybody of the like antagonist outside of Stellan Skarsgård. There was a rumor.
Well, and
he playing one of his sons, I think. But it's not on here.
Yeah, the Beast Raban is who Batista's playing, and that's one of the guys who works for the Harkonnen family. He's in the Lynch movie. He was the guy who was always eating, if I remember correctly.
Okay, he's the big dude, big boy.
But they haven't announced Fade yet, who was Sting's character.
Let's hope they don't give whoever plays. I mean, if Jason Momoa is playing Fade, let's hope to God they don't give a cod piece. Because
he's not.
There will be women who will drop dead.
No, he's playing the dude who
barely was in the Lynch movie, Duncan, Idaho. He was the House Sword Master. But
If you cast in the Sting role, I feel like at this point you could put anybody, because that's kind of what they've gotten at this point.
David Lynch?
No.
Oh my God.
I think David Lynch will be in the movie. And I'm sure
he'll have a cameo.
And it should be him and Jodorowsky, and they should be fighting about the original Dune, but in Spanish, so that only a few people will understand what's going on. But
look at my cock.
See, I feel like you could get a Hemsworth to play that role.
Ooh.
Like Hemsworth.
Well, you get the Westworld one, the one who was Thor in the play, the
oldest.
Get a Hemsworth. Like, you want high Hemsworth? You want low Hemsworth? Somewhere in the middle. Oh, so a Liam. Okay.
Yeah. They're like poodles. There's a standard of giant.
Nobody wants Liam.
Michael Mann
want Liam. He waited for Chris so that he could do Black Hat.
Dude, I for a long time thought that was Liam Hemsworth, because when you suck all that muscle off of Chris, he just becomes one of his lesser brothers. Like,
well, the oldest one, the one that's in Westworld, is beefy. He's just short. Like, he's not as tall, but he's beefy. Liam is the
yeah, and when you put him in the blonde hair and the beard, it's like, okay, I can see the resemblance more.
I would love if they did eventually a Thor movie and they have him play like Balder, like the bastard brother.
Yes,
that'd be fantastic.
See, real quick on the idea of who should play Fade, the Sting character from the Lynch movie, they should get one of Skarsgård's sons to play him.
I said, Alexander or somebody, because we did discuss this a little bit. He's a bit older than Paul, so maybe one of the Skarsgårds that we don't know. Or one of the ones we do know.
I say go with, is Bill the one who played Pennywise?
Yeah.
Get Bill. He would be perfectly lithe and creepy for the role, I think.
You need someone that can just do like.
You go with anybody. You go with the Skarsgård who's on Vikings, Floki. He's one of them, and he'd be interesting.
Well, if you just said Loki, Hiddleston, I think, could do it.
Floki is what I said, but yes, Floki. He's a crazy character. Or you just put out the big bucks and get fucking Alexander and fucking just
I think you want someone a little younger and youth here that's like sexy Like Sting was like pure sex symbol, like at the top of his
What do you
game.
say about Alexander Skarsgård here, Lou? What are you trying to say here? Trying to put down my boy?
He's trying to besmirch your sweet Skarsgård voice.
That's right. Yeah.
No.
Anyways. Okay. Where are we? We're still talking about Dune. Anyways, David Dastmalchian, who's been in lots of things. He's the dude in The Dark Knight who Batman comes in, he's like, he's a madman, he won't tell you anything. The coin won't make any difference.
That guy. Yeah.
What are you
talking about?
Stupid.
Yeah.
What are you doing? That coin is dumb. I wonder if that will come to play later on in the plot.
Old men have safe.
Oh wait, are you talking about Abracadabra?
Yes.
Yes, Abracadabra and Papa
He's
Yaga.
the guy who is an Ant-Man?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who's the Russian, or at least the Eastern European dude. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but he's been in a bunch of stuff, and he's playing. What is he playing? Peter de Vries. I don't know. These names are.
He's very much an actor who you'd go, it's that guy.
He's an ultimate that guy actor.
Yeah, he's that guy who's about to become a somebody, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, and he's good. He's been good in everything I've seen him in.
Yeah,
So.
it's kind of like how we mentioned Carl Urban before. It's like I kept seeing Carl Urban pop up and stuff. I'm like, who's that?
Yeah,
And
Carl Urban started off like that.
Carl Urban
Took a step up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was Star Trek that did that.
Yeah, Star Trek and then Dread. But he's kind of not a leading man guy.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's a fucking excellent accessory though. Like I don't care what he's in, I'll be
He raises the tide.
Mhm.
Like everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy was in Prisoners. That's right. He's the kind of developmentally stunted guy who they think is maybe a killer.
I can see why that would work. Yeah.
Dark Knight is apparently his second credit as an actor.
That's right. He talked about that on the Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight, and he has like good screen time in that, like real good.
Wow.
Yeah. Left an impression, certainly. Yeah. Oh, he was in Sushi Girl, a film starring Mark Hamill.
Yeah, he was in The League, which has like everyone from our favorite podcast in it.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess we can pick the upsetting news, I suppose.
Is that our next story? I thought Hulk was our next story.
Hulk.
My next story is Altered Carbon. Cut it
Yeah.
out.
Altered.
I'm nothing to say because I haven't.
You're jumping like
one.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of it.
Wait, I thought you had seen it. Okay, never mind.
I started watching it, and then my wife and I fell off and started watching something else.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm the only one who's seen it then.
Yeah.
Okay, but they announced it, and they kind of confirmed Anthony Mackie is in the lead role. So I don't know. I'm excited. I thought.
Hold on.
Wow. Actually, Mike told me to watch this because I love Anthony Mackie.
So, thanks.
That's another Netflix thing he's going to be in, because isn't he in that the IO? I think it is. It's a Netflix movie.
Well, they like to keep their same people in everything.
But I do want to point out the first season is very good. I think those first few episodes are slow, but Joel Kinnaman does a fantastic job in that show.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah,
What?
Joel Kinnaman, yeah, RoboCop. You know that guy.
He's good.
Yes, he's very good, actually.
He's not just. I'm a white guy with a pointy chin.
Okay, okay, Connor, back off.
I'm sorry, I didn't know there was a fucking Joel Kinnaman stan out there.
Wow.
Well,
I was first exposed to him on The Killing, which is a show that not a lot of people have seen.
Kevin Bacon show?
I started.
No, it's the detective.
Was it the A&E show?
No, it's an AMC show set in Seattle, so I'm already into it.
I started after I saw RoboCop, and I never went back to finish it. I did. I saw though.
It's very good, and he's the reason to watch that show more than the actual lead of the show.
It wasn't.
I'm also somewhat kidding. I don't really hate Joel Kinnaman. He just hasn't. He's frequently in things that I either don't care for or just really dislike.
Is he like the American version of the dude from Avatar?
Yeah, he's also in later seasons of House of Cards, which is actually like I've almost watched House of Cards because of that. I know that he's in it eventually. But yeah, no, he's very good in the first season of Altered Carbon, and he's very.
I still maintain that there's one scene in RoboCop that is dependent on his acting. That's fucking amazing. It's when he asks to see his body, and they're like, "This is all that's left," and he's just a fucking pair of lungs and a hand. And he's just like, oh my God, kill me.
The problem,